Hello everyone, this is Satyaprakash. Welcome to my channel. This is part 1 of ISRO API session. In this video, I'll show you how to consume ISRO API in your web application or Windows application and get the details of spacecrafts which are launched by ISRO. So guys, recently on 23rd of August 2023, ISRO has launched the Chandrayaan-3 to moon successfully. So guys, how to get those spacecrafts which are launched by ISRO? So there is one external APIs which are created by ISRO, and we can consume it and we can find out what are the spacecrafts launched by ISRO. So first of all, before going through this video, please visit my video called how to consume the API using ASP.NET MVC, Web API and Bootstrap. You can get this part 27 video in my playlist called ASP.NET Web API tutorial. Okay, so this video is relevant to this video which currently I'm going to describe. So please go through this video part 27. So guys, first we need to know that is what is ISRO. So ISRO is Indian Space Research Organization, Department of Space for India country. Okay, so that is ISRO, and I have discussed few points which we need to discuss in this video. So what are the steps to consume ISRO API in ASP.NET MVC? Get list of launched spacecrafts using API endpoints, and I have also implemented Bootstrap filters, Bootstrap tables for responsive design. Okay, so guys, I have mentioned also a few steps here. So first of all, we need to find the ISRO APIs. Okay, so step number 1, you need to go to Google and find out ISRO APIs, and you'll get one link here, right? ISRO API, and you just click on it. Once you click on it, you will get that ISRO APIs, and this API is used for launched spacecrafts and rocket data of ISRO. So there is various endpoints here. Okay, so I have used these endpoints for spacecrafts, details of spacecrafts, that is Chandrayaan-3 and others as well. So I'll show you that things. So and step number 2 is we need to check this API using Postman. So I am using this endpoint, so click on it. So you'll get that API URL, right? This is the API URL, and you can see the records in a JSON format. Okay, so I copy this URL and go to Postman here and paste it and click on send. Once you send, you'll get the response here, right? On the spacecraft there is ID, value, name. The ID for 1 there is Aryabhata, and ID 2 is Bhaskara I, and ID number 3 is Rohini Technology Payload or RTP, and spacecraft ID 4 name is Rohini Satellite RS1. So if you check here Chandrayaan, you'll also get here. You will see Chandrayaan 1 and its ID is 50, and Chandrayaan 2 here ID is 106. Okay, these are the spacecrafts which are launched by ISRO. So guys, also there is one GitHub link. You will get the same URL and the details in this link in GitHub. Okay, you will get these things also in detail. The same things it is mentioned here. Okay, so we'll show the next step is here step number 3 is we need to convert this JSON object to C# class. So this is the URL where we need to convert the JSON to our C#. Okay, so what I'll do is I just copy this JSON things, go to here, paste here and convert. Once you convert, you'll get here, right, in your right hand side, it will convert it to the C# classes. Okay, there is one root class. It contains the list of a spacecraft which is relevant to this spacecraft, and it has 2 properties, ID and name. Okay, we need to implement this in our application. Okay, now step number 4 is we need to go to Visual Studio. Okay, so here it is my MVC application, which is already shown earlier in part 27 of ASP.NET Web API tutorial, which I already have shown you earlier, the reference video. Okay, so here I have created one class file under models, so called Spacecrafts.cs. So guys, here you can see same thing. I just copy this whatever I convert to C# class. Okay, so here you can see instead of a root I just mentioned here root 9, and other things are same. Okay, you can rename your as per your requirements. So this is the I have created the model class file based on the JSON objects. Okay, and step number 5 is we need to add a new controller. So here I have created one new controller called ISRO Spacecrafts controller.cs. Okay, so this controller I have used for consume the API. Okay, so guys, I'll show you, and the step number 6 is that is MVC controller file for consuming web API or ISRO API. Okay, so I'll describe these things. So here what I have done is created one controller here, right? And you can see there is one action method. I have created spacecrafts. Inside I have declared one variable URL which contains the ISRO API. Okay, that is nothing but this one. This one I have mentioned in the this URL. Okay, and web request I have mentioned to create the URL. Okay, so it makes a request to uniform resource identifier. This is an abstract class. Okay, I already have discussed this course in my this part 27 video. Okay, and this is the get request because we get the list of spacecraft, so I mentioned the method as get, and there is content type is JSON. Okay, and here I have declared a variable that is for web response. There is one web request, it contains the URL, and there is web response. Okay, so to get the response here, so it will create the stream of bytes. Okay, so there is get response stream. So here get web response means it provides a response from URI, so it is also a abstract class like web request. So stream class, it provides a generic view of sequence type. This is also a abstract class. Okay, so this contains the using this object we can access this method get response stream. So it returns the data stream from the internet resources, which is that is the URL. And stream reader, so stream reader is nothing but it is the reads the character from a byte stream in a particular encoding. Okay, and I have assigned the stream object here in the stream reader, and in the JSON I have created one variable which is just a access stream reader object. We can mention a read to end, so it reads all characters from current position to the end of the stream. Okay, and here I have used the serialization concept. So the serialization is nothing but the process is for converting the object into stream of bytes which will be stored in memory, database or files. Okay, it is nothing but to save the state of object whenever it required, it will be creating. Okay, that is the motto of serialization concept. So to implement serialization, there is one namespace is using system.script.serialization is here, right? Okay, and I have created a root 9. You remember root 9 here, the class, it's the wrapper class which contains the spacecraft class. Okay, so root 9 here I have created the instance of root 9 and it will deserialize. So deserialize is nothing but the opposite concept of serialization. Okay, and here I have passing the JSON which I have created for string and type of root 9. Okay, and here the using this object. Okay, we need to check whether the value is not null, then whatever records, because spacecrafts is a list class. Here we mention here list class, here is spacecrafts. Okay, list class object, so it will return all the data to our view back property. Okay, so in else part if it is null, then it will show as 0, and it will show if there is any server error. I mentioned the exception message here. And the last is return view. So create a view result object by using model that renders a view. So that is all about the controller part to consume the ISRO API, okay, in a MVC controller. So guys, next is we need to create a MVC view using Bootstrap. So to create a MVC view, I have already created MVC view. So here in the views folder, if you go to ISRO spacecrafts, there is one spacecrafts.csshtml. Okay, so this is the view. Okay, based on this controller action method, it has the view. So this is the view which create the model. So you know already that is how to create a view. You just right click on it, and go to art views. Once you create art view, you just select here template as empty, and here model class you need to select here as a root 9. Okay, so in this process I have created this MVC view. Okay, so this is the model enumerable of the reference I have mentioned here, and you will see there is title ISRO APIs, and here I have used some CDN files to support the Bootstrap CSS and Bootstrap JS, and also support some auto filtering of the Bootstrap tables, and it also supports some Bootstrap tables layout. Okay, so these are the important CDN file for Bootstrap CSS and JS to support the Bootstrap. Okay, and this line I have commented, but in previous video I have already used this CDN file for Bootstrap support, but here due to some more features, I have commented this and added this 4 lines to support the Bootstrap tables and Bootstrap filtering the records. Okay, so next one is I have mentioned one H2 tag here, launched spacecrafts and rockets data of ISRO, and there is one Bootstrap badge I have mentioned as ISRO spacecrafts. Okay, so inside div tag I have mentioned here, and I have added one image of Chandrayaan-3. Recently it was deployed. So here in the content folder I have added this Chandrayaan-3 image. Okay, so same I have added the reference here for Chandrayaan-3. Okay, so here I have added the path of the image, and here the image thumbnail, it is a Bootstrap class, and the width and height I have mentioned. So input as the text box to filter the records. So it has the ID my input and placeholder type text, and here I have as the table. Okay, so table, it's the Bootstrap table. I have mentioned the Bootstrap class T-head. Here is the class I have mentioned T-head -drag. This is the Bootstrap support, and in the T-header there is 2 columns, spacecraft ID and spacecraft name. Okay, so as per the response in Bootstrap in the Postman, I have used the same ID and name column in our views. Okay, and in T-body I have mentioned one ID value my table. This ID is required to when we filter the records in the table, and here I have looped the view bag property here, right? Here view bag, I have mentioned here view bag, right? So all the data will be stored here with all the this ID and name values. Okay, so here I have looped through each item in view bag.spacecrafts, and here in TR I have mentioned the class input, the Bootstrap class, and TD. Using this item I can access the ID values and name values, right, like here in spacecraft. So it is like same response here, so I can get this ID and name property values. Okay, after then I have mentioned here one script I have written for data filtering in the Bootstrap table. So here I have get the ID of my input. So my input is the ID of text box. Okay, you can see here. So this my input text box I have mentioned is a function, and there's values it will be assigned some lowercase, and here the my table is the ID of you will see here T body, right, in the inside the table. So I also make the reference of this ID here, and filter function I have mentioned, and whatever I have typed like any name, based on that name it will convert to lowercase and it will get the results. So this functionality of JavaScript I have implemented for Bootstrap filtering the records in the table. After then I close the body and HTML as well. So this is the code all about for MVC view. Okay. So guys, next one is setting in route config class for initial page load. So here you remember when our page will be loading in MVC, we need to set a start page. So we'll do it in the route config.cs file. So here in the routes.map route method, I have mentioned the controller name as ISRO controller. Okay, ISRO spacecraft controller, and action method name is spacecrafts. Okay, that means when our MVC page will load, it will directly come to this controller and its action methods. No need to type it manually. Okay, that's all about the steps. Total step 8, how to consume and set up the MVC application to consume the ISRO API and get the results. So guys, after then what I'll do is I need to run my application here. So guys, you can see our MVC application runs successfully, and you can see this is the output of our MVC application, which consumes the ISRO APIs to get the spacecraft names. Okay, so this is the controller name and this is the action method name, and you can see the result. Okay, so here you can see the list of spacecraft names as well. So we need to check here, that is the Aryabhat. So here if you'll go to our postman response of this API, you'll get here, you copy and paste here, you'll get Aryabhat 1, right, ID 1. So same thing is repeating here. So this is the Bootstrap table, you can see. Okay, it contains the total 1, 1, 2 records, and this is the text box I have used for filter the Bootstrap table data. So here I'll type here Chandrayaan-3, Chandrayaan, and you can see there is 2 Chandrayaans is available till now, Chandrayaan-1 and Chandrayaan-2, and Chandrayaan-3 it will be added within few days because recently it was deployed. Okay, so there is 2 Chandrayaans available. So here in this way you can filter our records in the Bootstrap table. So if you will check here in our response, that is Chandrayaan in Postman, you'll get here, right, two rows, 2 data, that is Chandrayaan-1 ID 50 and Chandrayaan-2 ID 106. So we'll check one more things, that is Apple. So there is spacecraft is Apple spacecraft name. So we'll check here in our Postman. Okay, so here there is one spacecraft name Apple, which ID is 6. Okay, which is same as in our application UI. So we'll check here again, that is Rohini. So with name of Rohini there is 4 spacecrafts: Rohini technology payload, Rohini satellite RS1, Rohini satellite RS-D1, and Rohini satellite RS-D2. So same way we'll check in our Postman. Okay, here you can see also 4 records. Okay, so you can see 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, there is 4 Rohini satellites with name Rohini. Okay, so same thing also reflecting here. So that is all about that is in my this application, it loads all the spacecraft names. Okay, you'll see here that is all the spacecrafts which are launched by ISRO earlier, right? So with the spacecraft names and spacecraft IDs. So there is many more also will come in future, so we can also filter our records like this. Okay, Chandrayaan. Okay, in this way we can filter our records. The same way also filter our records as well. If there is multiple names or many more spacecraft names, we can filter our Bootstrap table records easily. So, and I have added here the Chandrayaan-3 image, which is recently launched by ISRO on 23rd August of 2023. Okay, guys. Okay, and I'll go to my slide. So here there is two things I have mentioned. What is a wrapper class? So wrapper class is a class which wraps and encapsulates the functionality of other class or component. These are useful by giving a level of abstraction from the implementation of the underlying class or component. And I already told you I have used this concept of deserialize and serialize in JSON in our controller. So serialization is the process of converting the .NET object such as string into a JSON format, and deserialization is the process of converting JSON data into the .NET objects. Okay, guys, so we already know in this video how to consume the ISRO API and get the list of spacecraft names which are launched by ISRO. Okay, guys, so that's it for today. Thank you for listening. Have a great day.